Hi, gang. It's Brian here to run you through a release and restore yoga class. First, take your Life product, your knee pad, put it on the floor. We're going to go into Baddha Konasana. Sit right on the pad, squarely on the pad here. You're going to put your feet together and let the knees just gently come open. The more you sit on the pad, the more you'll feel less pressure on the inner thighs. You could have the hands in front or behind you to open the chest. Pick one that works for you. The chin is just slightly tucked. Eyes can be shut. We just start our breathing pattern here. As you inhale, the ribs start to rise. And the slow exhale, sit bones root into the pad. Every time around, take a little bit longer on the exhale than the inhale. This is our time to set an intention. We stay longer with these postures to release and mainly restore those tight, overused muscles. So as we get deeper with the breath, not only notice the stretch, but where we hold that stress. Start to deepen your breath. Good. On the next inhale, the eyes can blink open. You can take your hands, bring your knees together for a half butterfly. We're going to take the right leg out all the way to the right. The left thigh comes up towards the pad, not over the pad, but towards the inner thigh. Lift up through the ribs, get that nice rib lift, turn to the right. There's a slight forward bend. So a slight forward bend with a twist. And again, we let it simmer here. So the idea is not to flex or push. So the foot is relaxed. The jaw, the forehead is relaxed. The chin can tuck slightly. And the breath remains steady. So again, the inhale happens as the ribs lift. The exhale, let the shoulders relax down a little bit more. As the breath starts to deepen, not forcing, but letting the breath guide you. Almost like a dance, let the breath take the lead. Two more deep breaths. On the next inhale, let's come back to the top. Take a moment just to reset. And bring the left leg all the way out for a modified dragonfly. So legs are out to the side. Pass your shoulder width apart if you can. Feet relaxed. Inhale, lift the ribs again. Get that nice lift. And a slight forward bend. Again, not pushing, especially in the beginning, just allowing gravity to kind of do the work at first. And then your breath to take over from there. So as you inhale, you can separate the shoulders a little bit more. And as you exhale, the shoulders pull away from the ears. Elbows closer. If the elbows touch the floor, good for you. The head can relax a little bit more. Starting to get more in tune with that breath. Making sure you exhale all the way, taking that little extra exhale. Bottom lung breathing. Two more deep breaths. On the next inhale, let's come right back up to center. Again, taking your time, no rush here. Now we'll keep the left leg extended. The right leg comes up against the pad here, not on top. Leg relaxes. Inhale, lift the ribs, and now it's that slight left turn. And again, we just a little bit of a forward bend here. Noticing if there's difference on one side and the other, that's more than common. As we get deeper with the breath, the right sit bone is down. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Jaw relax as you deepen the breath. As we get deeper into the posture just through the breath, we can get through that first layer of skeletal muscle and get deeper into that lymphatic tissue. Work deeper into the lymphatic system. And that'll help move all that waste off your cellular lining. Two more deep breaths. Inhale, let's come back up to center. Take that moment. You can bring your knees together, give yourself a little forward hug. That should feel good. Take a breath. Good. And then hands behind you, just lift up nice and tall, legs out straight for staff pose. Big chest here. Wonderful. Blink the eyes open. And let's transition. We'll open up the shoulders and the chest. So you can come off the pad. And we'll go into puppy pose first, a supported puppy pose. So you can take your pad, put it in front of you. Take your elbows, put them on the pad. Option one, interlock the fingers. The head relaxes down. You can support the forehead onto the pad. However, if it's more comfortable or more in your range, let the head hang. If it's too much with the hands, you can relax the hands down. Modify that works for you. Really opening up the chest here, the neck. Relax the jaw and breathe. Again, not forcing, letting the breath lead you a little bit more. As the breath gets deeper, it almost makes an audible sound, like waves crashing on the ocean, on the beach in the ocean. As you bring the hips back just slightly, you'll feel more of a stretch, especially on the sides of the body and the lats. Two more deep breaths. Wonderful. The hands can come down flat if they're not there already. And we'll come back up to the top for a low cobra pose. So if you're working with the larger pad, leave it vertical. If you're leaving with the smaller pad, put it horizontal. As you come down, elbows underneath your shoulder blades. Palms are flat, and you squeeze the knee pad. Pull yourself slightly forward so you extend through the ribs. Separate the feet hip width apart, and the toes are on the floor. Shoulders pull away from the ears, so you're leading with your heart. You don't want to come off the floor with the elbows. Keep the elbows down. So we're not compressing, rather lengthening through the spine. If it's too much to look up, keep the neck neutral and breathe. Keep extending forward. Again, not pushing, but pulling more forward, getting into the lower abs here also. Every time you feel the shoulders, just gently draw them back and keep the momentum coming forward. Two more deep breaths. Good. On the next inhale, keep dragging yourself forward as you come down. Take a moment. You could put both hands down, forehead on the mat. Just take that moment to reset. Let's work on the chest a little bit with a page turner so you can pull the knee pad out slightly. Keep your chin on the pad. Make sure the whole chin is on the pad. Both arms come out to the side like airplane wings. Keep the right arm down and put your right ear towards the pad. Bring the left leg up and over just slightly as the left hand comes up and over. Now, a couple options here, gang. You can drop the arm behind you. You could put it right towards your hip or have it in front of you. As far as the right arm, you can bring it down slightly. Find a position that works for you. So I just had to move the pad slightly because it's too much on my shoulder, and that feels a lot better. So pick one that works for you, and we'll commit to it and breathe. Such a good posture for the chest, the shoulders, especially to connect the muscle tissue, the fascia around the heart and lungs. Especially here, the belly breathing. So as you inhale, the belly just opens up, right? The ribs knit in slightly. And as you breathe out, the belly pulls back in, the ribs open just a little. Deep belly breath here. Holding this posture just a little longer. Big muscles here in the chest. We let it simmer. Three more deep breaths. On the next inhale, if the hand is behind you, you can bring it right in front of you. Just let it hang for a moment. Let all that blood and nutrients come back in. Wonderful. Let's come back to a prone position, flat on your belly. So again, the arms come out to the side. Those are like your airplane wings. Now from here, now we can start to work the left ear down. And again, if it's just too much, we can modify a little bit, pull the pad out or in, what works for you. Once we're there, the left arm comes out. It could be either right in front of you or right vertical with you, or it could be a little bit lower, depending where you want to be. Right leg up just a little bit. It can work more if it works for you. And the right arm, again, comes either behind to the hip or in front. Pick one that works for you. 'And by sitting with the breath quiet, we can start to find those answers. Just taking a little longer on those exhales. Deep cleanse of the body here. Three more deep, deep breaths. The arm is behind you. Let's bring it right back to neutral just for a moment. Not in a rush to get out. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to that prone position on your belly Forehead down just for a moment to reset. We're going to do a quick counter with locust pose, gang. So this will only be a shorter posture. Option 1, interlock all 10 fingers behind your back. Option 2, hands just reach back. You're going to lift your chest, lift your legs, and pull the arms back to open the chest. If the hands are down, you reach down and you open. And we hold this for 5 breaths. Every inhale, we lengthen. As we exhale, we hold. Good. On the next inhale, let's come down for a moment. Again, hands underneath your forehead just for a supported rest. Child's pose. So we're going to come up to a quadrupede position on all fours and just draw the hips back. I keep my head on the pad here. Really more my third eye, my pineal gland, right? So we just take a moment to reset. Okay, time to work on the digestion, the torso. So we'll start with a low lunge twist. So keep the pad there. As we take the pad, we're going to bring our knees onto the pad. Let's get the left leg forward, foot flat to the floor. You can lean forward. It's okay. The knee can be slightly in front of the toe as long as the heel stays on the floor. That's the key here. Option 1, we could stay right here. This is a nice stretch. Option 2, we twist slightly. Take your right elbow, put on top of that left thigh. You can make a fist and cover the fist. That's option 1. If that's just not available right now, sit up tall. Hand outside the thigh. We take a twist. You can let the other arm come around for a half bind. Do something that works for you. I think I'll stay in this one today. And we're just slightly twisting. Remember, this twist is not from the hips. It's a lower back twist. So we're not overdoing it. Again, as we inhale, that's where the ribs start to lift. Exhale, we never collapse back down, but keep that nice lift. Big chest. As far as the chin is concerned, I pretend sometimes I have an orange under my throat. I don't want to crush it. However, I don't want to let it go. Find a drishti point or focus point that works on you. And as always, smile because you're doing something so good for your body. If you're in the twist mode, you can deepen it slightly, but we're not really looking over the left shoulder. We're keeping the neck pretty neutral. So the chin in line with the center line of the heart. The front foot, make sure the weight is distributed more evenly, not necessarily in the heel of the front of foot, but all through 3 corners of the foot. The heel is down, the base of the big toe, and the base of the pinky toe touch. You're balancing on those 3 wheels. Start to deepen the breath. On the next inhale, we can come back to center. Just take a second to reset that, right? That's the idea here. We always want to rush back into it. Could put your hands down for support. Put the left knee on the mat. As you turn around, because I'm going to turn around to demonstrate, you bring that right foot out in front of you. Again, we get stable first. And now what option do we have this side? Same as before. You could put the elbow down and the twist. So we lean forward slightly. Or the option I'm going to choose is behind the back. And again, you could half bind if you like. And how you do that, you can just grab your shorts or something like that if you want to open the shoulder a little bit more. But whatever you did on the other side, let's do that on this side so we don't exacerbate any compensation or overuse of those compensated muscles. And again, it's just about creating room, not forcing. So the inhale, we create that lift. And as we exhale, it's more the right shoulder that slightly pulls back, not necessarily the hips. The front knee should not move. Find a focus point, a drishti point that works for you. Start to deepen the breath. Four more deep breaths. If you're in a half bind, let's slowly unwind again. Let it just simmer for that moment. We're going to transition to pigeon. So you bring both knees down, hands on the floor. Take your right foot and bring your right ankle by your left wrist. You're going to put your hip down onto the pad. Your back knee bends slightly. Now, option one, we stay right here, nice and tall. Option two, we bring the body down to recline. Works for you. Luckily for me, I always carry 2 or 3 pads. So for me, I'm able to bring myself forward, put my hands on the pad, and my forehead touches. And now this is a form of a pigeon or a sleeping swan. The more the back knee bends, the more I start to feel a release in my hips. Without this pad, my hip would go all the way down, and that would put a lot of pressure on my lower back. Even though it might feel good for a moment or two, the consequence of that action would cause pain over time. This gives me a nice, deeper lymphatic stretch. It's one of the most powerful postures we have in all of yoga for opening up the hips and helping with digestion. we deepen the breath, start to take a little evaluation of the body here. Is the jaw relaxed? The forehead relaxed, the eyes. What about the shoulders? If they're in the ears, just slightly let them relax. We're not forcing. And again, finding a position here that's not painful, but a position we could hold without stress. Deepen the breath. On the next inhale, we're going to start to come up. So you're going to lean towards your right. Put the weight towards the pad. If you have the other pad, you can move it away for a moment. We just sit up right for a moment, leaning towards the right. For me, I transition by swinging both legs around in front of me. Now they're in front. Now I move a little bit to the right, bring my legs back around. So I'm leaning to the left. Come down. And now you see it from the other option. So again, we're not, without the pad, we're able to come all the way down, but the hip shoots down. We want that more level. So now I even feel better in my lower back. For me, I keep my back knee bent. The more you straighten it, the more you're going to feel in the inner thigh. That's a personal choice. So from here, we're up tall. And again, just nice and tall, getting that rib lift. And as you exhale, instead of diving to the right, pretty much over the front knee. So we're coming forward. Again, if you have that other pad, good for you. If not, I always suggest getting one for sure. And then we come down into that reclined position. Now, again, feeling different on one side and the other is more than normal. The idea here is not to, like I said, fix that, but to recognize it first and then put some corrective cues into our health toolbox. So anytime we need to, we have the option to go back and work on it. And as we start to deepen the breath, again, taking that little evaluation, right? The jaw, forehead, shoulders into the ears. We have simply just let them drop back slightly as we extend forward through the ribs. And we let this simmer for a little bit longer. Getting deeper, deeper ever. Always getting a little bit deeper here. And the breath allows us to do that. Start to deepen the breath. Wonderful. On the next inhale, we're going to come up. Again, nice and slow, not a rush here. You have the other pad there. We can simply move it out of the way just to get that length. Okay, now we're going to swing both legs around. We're in front. You can bend the knees slightly and do that little forward bend. Just a little bit of a hug for yourself. Hug my knees like I haven't seen myself in years. A big hug. And then we'll do another staff pose. So hands behind you. The knees can stay bent if you like, or feet straight in front of you. Legs are straight as you open the chest. Showing off that beautiful heart, that connective muscle tissue opening up. And now, finally, gang, we go into our cool down where we put all this together. Where we start to work the lymphatic system, get the blood back into the belly to rinse it all out. So if you are by your couch, which I am, we'll use that, or you can do this on a wall too. So what I'll do is I'll sit right next to the couch sideways. That way my hips are very close. Put my pad behind me. Come up. Put my legs on the couch. Back of the head onto the pad. The chin can tuck slightly. If you have your legs on the couch, take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. If the legs are up the wall, you can do cactus arms behind you. Pick one that works good for you. Shut the eyes. Start to connect back to the breath. Belly rises, ribs knit in slightly, and as you exhale, the belly deflates like a balloon. If you have pressure on your lower back, you can simply drop the rib cage. It will help. I suggest staying here for a good couple minutes, gang, a good couple breaths here as all that blood pours through the legs into the belly. And as we continue to do our practice, allowing ourselves to open up, to experiment, to play a little bit, all of a sudden we start feeling better than good. As the breath starts to deepen, shut the eyes, set an intention. Show off that beautiful heart today. Namaste. You can stay there as long as you want, gang. Enjoy that posture. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you.